Go the Rams. Bah!
Adelaide to bring it out from their own line. And met by some very willing Auckland defence. And pushed back a couple of metres. Gerard Walters just goes from dummy half to pick up Darren Doherty. 25 metres out from his own line.
As now the Adelaide Rams make their way out onto Marathon Stadium for the first time.
Oh, it's a very good afternoon, or good morning, good evening, wherever you're listening to the Rampage League podcast from. And we're back. Can you believe it? We're back for 2024. And joining us again in the hot seat is Simon. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Darren. It's good to be back for season 2. It's been a long off season. We're looking forward to 2024, and what a great start it's been so far. We've had the Vegas. We'll talk about that shortly, but it's going to be a great year. I can feel it.
Oh, definitely. And I guess we have a bit of a hop in our step with Manly. Of course, we're both Manly supporters, getting the 2 points in the first game over in Las Vegas. As you said, we'll talk about that soon, but yeah, it's a good start for us, and hopefully we can keep that going. But yeah, I feel this is going to be a good year for the NRL in general. I think we're in for a very good season.
Yeah, I feel like now the Panthers have lost Stephen Crichton, Spencer Lenny. I think that they will come back to the pack a bit, and the Broncos, obviously, they'll be a bit sad after last year's loss, so they'll be trying to obviously to get back in the grand final. You got the Roosters, who look like they've got a strong side. Manly, I'm a bit biased, but I think they look great with Luke Brooks and like Parramatta and South. So I'm hoping it's going to be a lot closer this year, the competition. We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Definitely. And the NRL left Australian shores and headed over to the US, over to Sin City or Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas, yeah.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
So I gather you would have watched both games?
Yeah, I watched both games. I've watched a lot of the news and Fox Sports about the Vegas game, and they was like they're saying, it's Rugby League going global, and everyone's talking about the Vegas game. But I listened to on the way to work. I listened to Triple M on I was in Adelaide, and they did not mention one thing about the NRL Vegas. So I think the media might have hyped up a bit. I don't know how popular it was in the States, but definitely not all of the world and not all of Australia was talking about the Vegas game. I personally thought we shouldn't have went there. We should have maybe gave them a World Cup so they could have a tournament and they could have other teams, not just have 2 NRL games. And that game could have been in Adelaide or Perth, and trying to get more fans in Australia, especially South Australia, because I haven't heard anything about NRL unless you watch Fox Sports Rugby League channels, because all they talk about is AFL here. So I feel like they missed the trick here, trying to obviously compare Origin last year, trying to make the game in South Australia and Perth. They could have 2 games here and then gave them the World Cup. I was against going to America where we're still not a national rugby league. We're still an Eastern state kind of competition with there's no interest at the moment in South Australia, because we have no NRL games to this year, no Origin, no club games. It feels like they've missed a trick. I feel they should have had a game in Adelaide. But saying that, it was a great spectacle in Vegas. 2 good games. Manly had the win against South, and having the Roosters beat the Broncos was nice too. And the crowd, 40,000, not bad, But what was your thoughts, Darren, on the game?
I liked it, but I have to agree with you. And I've just got an article here. The NRL boss is proud of what was achieved as American TV ratings for NRL Vegas experiment revealed. I think they would have got more people in Australia watching it. The NRL's Vegas experiment has been hit with a reality check after TV ratings revealed a small American audience tuned in, and the numbers dropped off as the doubleheader wore on. Ratings from the US cable network Fox Sports 1 showed an average of 61,000 tuned in to watch the season opener between the Sea Eagles and the Rabbitohs, and that dwindled down to 44,000 during the second game, of course, between the Roosters and the Broncos clash at Allegiant Stadium. So both numbers are smaller than the NRL would have hoped for.
So I watched the coverage on Fox Sports, and I felt like they had talked it up like, oh, this is amazing, this is groundbreaking, America, loves rugby league, and then like I think they were interviewing the Landis, and he's getting interviewed. He's like, I can't hear you because it's so loud here. You know, there's the crowd's going, and like, no, because it's not wasn't that much of a crowd really. Like, and then they'd break back like, oh, it's just groundbreaking, and then on NRL 360 they're like, oh, this is amazing for rugby league. I'm like, but no one's talking about it besides you guys. You know, like besides maybe New South Wales and Queensland. Like, there's no one else talking about it. Everyone's talking about in South Australia. Everyone's talking about AFL, and you know, everyone in America's talking about obviously all their sports. Like, they don't care about rugby league. We should have had it in Australia. Give them a World Cup or a Nines or something, so they can kind of get a taste.
Yep.
But I guess the players would like to go to Vegas, but that's about it, you know.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I would have... See, America has a national rugby league team, the Eagles. I'd like to know, take the NRL out of it, what the general feeling is about rugby league in general. How many people do they get to go out to see the Eagles games, and how many people are involved? I would have loved to have seen 2 games in Adelaide. Would have been on a Friday night or a Saturday night. Would have been absolutely brilliant. We've proven that we can get a really good crowd to Adelaide. Just look at how successful the State of Origin game was. That was last year.
100%. And I feel like this time of year the weather's great. The fringe is on. Like last year when we had the Origin, it was winter and we still had a massive crowd. Like this time of year would have been perfect. Like had a bit of a good build up, have some players come out and like support it and get it done right. I think it would have been perfect. Like,
oh, exactly. We'll just think about the AFL. There's no games in Adelaide, no games in Melbourne for the start this weekend, for the start of round 1. And there wouldn't have been much changes to Adelaide Oval to get it ready for rugby league compared to AFL. So I think that it's an opportunity that's gone missing. Should we hear the highlights?
Yeah, let's have a listen to the highlights. And the Manly score a lot of tries. I like it.
Yes. Yeah.
South Sydney to bring it back first. Tavita Totola. He brings it up and crosses the 10. Sib on Fox League. There's a strong shot. The crowd rises there. Now it comes to Walker. His pass Kaloamatangi. And again, Manly scrapping on the last. It's Cook. And it's away. It's a try. It's Richie Kenner. It is the most unlikely of first try scorers on US soil. It's the veteran, Richie Kenner, and South Sydney on the board first. It's Cherry Evans working into Olakau'atu. He's so powerful, and he's over. Hamole Olakau'atu thunders his way over the line, and Manly are back. Well, this is a nice set piece. Kenner at dummy half, the floater for Walker. Now Havili, the double pump, as they work it from left to right, and now a charge. Oh, it's Gagai! The man on debut has scored! Jacob Gagai, second oldest debutant in South Sydney history, has a moment, a special moment in Las Vegas, Nevada. What about that? We're here for a while on Fox League and stations right across the world. Intercept! It's Jason Saab! Goodbye! Saab goes 50 metres, and he has his Vegas try. Left, and it's a slow play, the ball. They work the short side. Mitchell goes for it himself and scores! Latrell Mitchell does it on his own. The man is in a mood tonight. Gazillius getting it on to Kalaamatangi. The ball to Mitchell. Beautiful hands. Alex Johnston for the corner. That is superb. That is South Sydney at their best. And Alex Johnston has a try. Manly closing in. Croker for dummy half. Goes for it. And he gets over, but Murray got under him. This is close. This is real close. And it's a try. Ashley Clyde says he saw Lachlan Croker plant this ball down. Short side, Tom Trebojevic delaying the pass for Ben Trebojevic, and he's over! He's over! He has carried Gagai with him to the line, and it's a try! It's Ben Trebojevic! And Manly. Kalaamatangi important there, last tackle, threading the middle, and scoring! It's Garrick off a Cherry Evans kick. That's artistry from DCE. And Manly are 4-pointer. Manly with Luke Brooks going through, and Luke Brooks scoring. A magical debut for Luke Brooks. He no longer has the burden of expectation, the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he has shone tonight for his new club.
Or any question marks over Luke Brooks, they have been answered tonight. What a performance.
It is straight into Roosters Brisbane, so stay tuned as now comes to Kenner. Kenner down the sideline. Oh, he's bounced over, and he might have just had the momentum.
I don't think Ola Kawatu had completed the tackle before Richie Kenner promotes the football. He scores the first try, possibly scores the last try. Bit of a consolation, really.
Manly will forever be the team that taste victory for the first time in America in an NRL game. Full-time at Allegiant, Manly 36, South Sydney 24.
And two of the games, heavyweight clubs, kick things off. The Roosters kicking down to the Broncos, where Mariner goes to Tapa'u, who is elevated to start. Incredible strength out wide. Now Ezra Mann throws an intercept. Manu! Joey Manu with a gift wrap try to start the game. Ezra Mann so brilliant in the grand final, but he gets that one horribly wrong.
Just watching the double punt here of Ezra Mann, he's wanting Patrick Carrigan to punch into the gap. He actually runs to the wrong gap there, Patrick Carrigan. Isuzu MUX replay.
Walker off the Brandon Smith pass. They're playing up-tempo footy here, the Roosters. Another effort by Manu to evade Ezra Mann, and they're up near the 10. Oh, penalty on tackle 5.
A lot of field position.
Sam Walker wants to take the 2.
Yeah, 8 mils inviting.
And they will take the shot. Chorus of boos in Las Vegas, but Walker successful for 8-0. It's all clunky at the moment. Bit of a WD-40 out there. Oh, good shot, Victor.
That wasn't clunky.
That's his old teammate, Fletcher Baker. Reynolds, now to Walsh. Walsh beat one, Gravis through. Try to Brisbane. It's Dean Mariner.
Well, I thought Joseph Suoliti did a great job reading this play, but it was just the brilliance of Reece Walsh, the footwork that creates the space, and then the brilliance and skill of the little kick. Dean Mariner showed speed to get there. Give yourself some time under the ball.
So Carey changes direction at the last moment. It's a short-ish drop out. Oh, it's perfect!
James
and there's
Tedesco.
a big collision between Teddy and Ezra Mann, who's laid out flat on his back near the 30-metre line. Oh, this could prove very problematic for the Broncos.
It was just in no man's land here. Tedesco gets there first. Oh, huge courage from both Mam and Tedesco.
Up over the top, crunch. Into the defence, he should be able to play this. This will be the last one of the half. And field goal. Walker has kicked it. It's a field goal to make it 9-4.
Okay. Video review of the field goal, guys. Looking at potential blockers.
This is a new rule, Billy. It's been brought in with the blockers protecting the kickers.
Lindsay Collins and Victor Radley take up a position next to each other. This interferes with the run of Fletcher Baker. This is considered interference. The field goal will be disallowed and a penalty awarded to Brisbane.
Well, Reynolds might be thinking field goal, 2-point field goal.
Gee, what a big kick. It is. Does it find the line? Well, you bet it does. What a kick by Walsh. I reckon that's
Where's
exactly
Reynolds?
what he's thinking.
He's got a boot on him, Reece Walsh.
Adam Reynolds for a 2-pointer from near the 40. It's a shank. Out past 100 running metres and 19 tackles, and now a tackle before. Kicked by Brandon Smith. It's been touched back. Oh, gee, Arthurs has made a meal of that. And then to rub insult to injury, he's collided with the advertising board. Kiri, Tedesco, Swali'i, Tupou can't get there. Walsh with a superb covering effort.
Just have a look at the contact here.
Well, Billy, you've been in these situations hundreds of times. Your technique just goes out the window, doesn't it? You just throw everything at it.
Well, you're travelling at high speeds. That's the thing.
Affects a shoulder charge on Daniel Tupou in the field of play. The challenge by the Roosters is successful.
The premiership winning halves from 2014. Tedesco trailing through a high kick. Walsh up above the pack. Tedesco pickpocketed him. He got it over the top. There was an opportunity. Staggs could have taken that, but the ball ends up with Tupou in the air. Now Walsh comes sprinting off the line. Surely it can't be onside. They've got a 2-on-1. They have to score. Manu through, backhanded pass. Oh, the referee lets it go. It's a try. The referee was right in line and was happy with that pass.
Here's Tedesco. Here's the challenge in the air. And then the ball will come out. Isuzu MUX replay. And then the ball goes to the right side. Joseph Manu gets some space. Reece Walsh comes out of the line. And then watch this pass. What? It is a miracle. What a ball.
That's incredible.
It's around the corner. No look. Flick pass out the back of the hand.
It's nearly physically impossible.
Little switch and good hands. Lovely play. Arthur's in the clear. Drawing pass. Walsh goes over. Well, they look very flat, but he sparks them to life again. This dynamite fullback. Lovely ball movement. And the Broncos are back in it.
Watch this pass from dummy half. This is an amazing pass. It's Billy Walters. He goes to one side. And then look at that 15-metre rocket with all his momentum going one way. And then who else? Reece Walsh. Isuzu MUX replay, and then the showman, he's got to jump, and they'd love that. What a ball.
Well, they're the combinations that get him into the game. That was premeditated, that little play, and just got Reece Walsh down the sideline. Beautiful hands by Selwyn Cobbo.
Walsh kicks for himself, finds a bit of room. Oh, brilliant by Walker and Brave.
There's a push and shove and back play. The big boys are getting restless. Spencer Leniu, Hale May, Terrell May.
There's 4 Broncos on 2 Roosters. Walker. Tedesco. Dummies, runs, links up with Radley and probably wins the game for the Roosters. Tedesco showing all of his brilliance. Right place, right time. And the Roosters edge ahead 18-10.
Well, he's looked as sharp as I've seen him look in the last few years, James Tedesco. We spoke before about the summer that the Chooks have had. And we see here on the Isuzu MUX replay, he just slices through the Broncos' defence. Little show, but just the strength of his hips. What a player, Tedesco.
Last play of the game. Tedesco with some footwork on Ezra Mam, trying to shrug off Selwyn Cobbo. He's happy to accept the tackle, and the Roosters can celebrate. It's been a dizzying couple of weeks for them, starting their season in the United States, but they will head home on a high.
Let's hear from the NRL CEO, Andrew Abdo.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
Peter V'landys called it his greatest achievement as a sports administrator. How do you assess the weekend?
It's been a fantastic week, and to be honest, I've just been so happy and proud to see so many Aussies over here enjoying the experience of seeing their teams play at Allegiant Stadium. And most importantly, we've welcomed some new American fans into the sport. And as you said, 40,000 got to see it live. What a great showcase of Rugby League and NRL to the US audience. So yeah, it's been a great week for the sport.
Yeah, it was so good. So many positives, Andrew. But look, let's talk about the games. Two very physical games, Andrew. One American said these guys make the NFL look soft. They couldn't believe the amount of no stoppages, players being hurt. They just keep going. How did the Americans find the brutality of rugby league?
Well, I think you got to acknowledge the players and the clubs. They put on a great show last night. We had two magnificent games, very different games, but if you consider that this is the start of the season, we've got a wonderful season of football to look forward to. And the response from the US fans has been overwhelmingly positive. They can't believe that the players play both defense and offense and that they're on the field with very few interchange players giving them a rest. So it's pretty continuous, and as a result of that, I think they're very interested in looking and following the sport throughout the season.
Do you take a big, deep breath now, Andrew? I mean, this was a massive gamble to take these two games to the United States of America, Las Vegas. I mean, wow.
Yeah, you got to take several deep breaths, I guess. Not yet. You know, we're excited. This is the start of this adventure. We've been planning this for a number of years, so it is great to see it come together. It's great to see how the players, the clubs, and the fans have embraced this opportunity. But there's more work to do. But what I'm really excited about is in just a few days we continue with round one, and the football starts again on Thursday. So what a great season we've got ahead of us. No time to rest up, but a lot to look forward to.
Indeed. Safe trip home. Well done. Congratulations to you and your team on a wonderful.
So that was the highlights from the two games in Las Vegas. Sounded pretty exciting.
We probably should give them a review of what we thought of the two games. So I'll start off, Darren, if you'd like.
Yep.
Start off with the Seagulls Rabbitohs game. I was worried at the start they scored first, the Rabbitohs, and then after half time they scored two quick tries, and I'm like, Manly seemed a bit clunky. I was like, this is not looking good. And then Manly managed to find some form and kind of won the game pretty easily. I feel like Manly could have put more points on South. There's a few. I think Turbo went over the try line a couple of once and held up and dropped it. And I think Luke Brooks dropped the ball over the line. It could have been a bigger score. I feel like South, they're really good in attack, but their defence is where what lets them down. Obviously, Fox Sports love Latrell Mitchell. He played good. I'm not a fan of his, but I still think he's not there all the time when they need him, as Turbo was for Manly. Luke Brooks, I mentioned him. He played great in his first game for Manly, so that's a promising. The only problem with Manly, I think, is Jason Saab came off late with a hamstring injury, so he might be in doubt, or he will definitely be in doubt for the next game, which is next weekend against the Roosters. So it was a good game. I would love to have it in Adelaide. Just talking about back on the Adelaide versus Las Vegas thing we're talking about. So the game was played in Vegas on a Saturday night. The tickets were from $20. Had a week of like promotion there, like trying to hype up the locals about the game. And there was 40,000. They say that's excessive. Okay, so Adelaide for the State of Origin, it was held on a Wednesday night in winter. Obviously, tickets were like $120 from $120, so expensive. There was no promotion really for the game. They had a little thing at Ronald Moore, was tiny, and we got 48,000, and they said it was a failure. So just think about that. NRL, if you ever listen to this, because I think you've got your lines mixed, because I think Adelaide would have been a better choice than Vegas. What are your thoughts on the game, the first game, Darren, the Manly Seagulls versus the Bunnies?
Much the same. I was kind of went into the game hoping Manly would do it, and then with the Rabbitohs getting the first try for maybe not. But no, overall I thought it was a very good game. They picked up in the second half and in the end took the chocolates. And
it was a good start to the season, Manly, because Manly usually, obviously being a fan, I watch them closely. A slow starters, we don't really win the first few rounds. We usually lose a few and then kind of build momentum. The thing about Manly, when they score a try, they usually get on a roll. Like we'll score a try and then we get momentum going. That's the problem. If we don't score early, it's hard for us to kind of get a try and get momentum back in the game. Stop talking about Manly. Stop the Manly podcast. We'll go to the second game, which was the the Roosters and the Broncos. I'm not a fan of either team, to be quite honest, but I'm happy the Roosters won because I think the Broncos were getting, after they made the grand final, they got pretty cocky enough, right? They need to be brought down to earth. It was a pretty good game. I don't think it was as good as the first game, but a lot closer. Could have went either way, really. Adam Reynolds played pretty well, and James Tedesco, I think he copped a lot of slack last year about his performance. I think he played really well. One of his obviously best games of the year, the first game of the year, but I think one of his best games for a while. And then the Roosters won 20 points to 10. Darren, what was your thoughts on this game?
I kind of, after seeing the Manly Rabbitohs game, I kind of went into the second game. All the hype's gone. It started. This is the second game, but I was happy that with the result, and I thought it was another very good game. And as you said, could have gone either way. And yes,
yeah. So it's funny because these two games now that we had in Vegas for next round we'll swap. So we play the Roosters, Manly, and then South play the Broncos because obviously they've got to travel back from Vegas. They're probably at the casino right now. So they've got to get their plane, get back, and they'll have time to get back to over the jet lag and stuff. So that's going to be interesting to see how we've seen the two games now in Vegas and see how they back up after. It's a long turnaround, but after the jet lag and I guess the hype of the first game because it was such a build up. Now it's just back to Brookie, like it's not in Vegas. So we'll see how they go round two. See if they can back up a good win. Have a go for a break, Darren. We'll come back and we'll talk about the rest of the round.
Okay.
Here for the atmosphere, not the gambling.
Here for the memories, not for early bet payouts.
Here for the loyalty, not to punt on first goal scorers.
Here for my heroes,
not for my multi.
Here for the fans,
not the odds-on favourite.
What are you here for? Gambling may harm. You could lose more than a bet. Visit hereforthegame.com.au.
And we're back. You're with Simon and myself and Darren for our first episode of the 2024 NRL season. This is the Rampage League podcast. And now we're going to...
let's crack on. Yeah, crack on with the preview of round one. It's been a long round, obviously, because it was Vegas. The first game is actually about to start because we're recording on a Thursday night. It's the Newcastle Knights versus the Raiders from Newcastle. I've looked at this lineup and I looked at the Raiders and I don't think it's going to be a good season for the Raiders, losing Jack White. I think Newcastle win this game and I think they'll win pretty comfortably. I think 13 plus. I hope not for the Raiders fans because they've had a tough run since '94. What's your thoughts, Darren? Who's your tip?
I think I'm going to have to go. I'm looking forward to seeing this game tonight, and I think my tip would have to be the Knights.
Yes, Knights. It's funny because the Knights jersey looks like a Rams jersey. So
yeah, I'm just looking at their jersey now. And yes, you're right, exactly. Swap a couple of the logos around, and easily could be a Rams jersey. Definitely.
Rams jersey.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. So go the Newcastle Rams. Or the Adelaide Rams, I don't know. Yes. Adelaide Knights, whatever they're called. But anyway, we'll crack on with the first game of Friday, which is 5:30 game in New Zealand, and it's the Warriors versus the Sharks. This will be a good game. The Wars, I love the Wars. I hope they go top two this year. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is back after his rugby union adventure, and they've got a good team. And I feel like I always say it's about the Sharks. They've got good players, but there's nothing like really scary. But they seem to always be in the 8. So Nico Hines will be big for them. But I'm tipping the Wars by 8. How are you, Darren?
I'll go the Warriors by 4.
By 4, closer. I like that. The second game is probably the match of the round. Looking forward to this one. Is the Storm versus the Panthers from Melbourne, Amy Park. The Premiers obviously don't have Stephen Crichton anymore or Spencer Leniu, and I'm hearing that Cameron Munster has been ruled out late, which will be quite interesting because he's a massive part of their team. So obviously we've got Pappenhausen at the back, which will be big, and they've got Harry Grant and they've got Jerry Hoos, but I think their forward pack is a bit no-name-ish. I don't really know many of their back row or lock, so I think the Panthers will win this after they come back from the World Club Challenge. I think Nathan Cleary will be man of the match. I think they'll win. I think they'll win easy, just because you think about it. The Storm haven't lost a round one game with Craig Bellamy as head coach. So how many seasons he's been going, but they haven't lost the first round ever with him as coach. So I think this will be the first one, and I think the Panthers will put 13 points on them. What's your thoughts, Darren?
Yes, yep. As much as I'd like to see the Storm do it, as you said, they're missing one of their top players. So I think I'm going to have to tilt. I'll go Panthers, I think. Margin, I'm not sure, but yeah.
I hope it's a good game because
very good game.
Yeah, they're two good teams. Good teams, good coached. Okay, the first game on Saturday is 5 o'clock. It's the Parramatta Eels versus the Bulldogs, or the Penrith Bulldogs, because they seem to have all the ex-Panthers players. So the Parramatta Eels are like short place favourites to win this, but I'm going to say I think the Bulldogs are going to win this with look at their team. Like Blake Taft coming from South at fullback will be big. You got Crichton, you got Matt Burton, Kickow. I just feel like they're going to surprise us this year. The Dogs and make the 8, and I just think Parramatta. I just don't see them making the 8 this year. They've been disappointing. They might shock me and make the 8, but as I say that, I'm very biased and I hate Parramatta, so they might make them in the comp, but I will never say that. So I'm thinking Bulldogs by 10. What's your thoughts, Dan?
All right. Well, I'm going to totally be different here. I'm Manly all the way, but I think I would have to go Eels for this game. Just, I don't know, I just feel like the Eels could do it. So
yeah, I guess it all comes down to Mitchell Moses and Clint Gustafson.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of Clint Gustafson. Well, he was when he played for Manly, but I wasn't for a long time because I'm biased. But watching him last year, he is such a good player and puts his heart and soul into every match. And I wish him all the best, actually, because he's just a good guy. I always hated him when he left Manly and come to Parramatta, but I think if he has a big year, Eels fans will be happy saying that.
Definitely.
The second game is Titans versus the Dragons. The poor Dragons. I don't see them having a good year. Obviously, Titans have Des, ex-Manly coach, as their coach, and they've got a good team. But I don't think it's going to be a great game to watch. I feel like the Titans have a better forward pack with Fafita and Tino. So I think the Titans will win this. I'm going to say they're going to put 20 points. By 20 points, because I don't think the Dragons, they'll go good at the second half of the season, I think, but the first half, I think they'll take a while to gel with any half combination. What's your thoughts, Darren?
Much the same. I think it will be I think the Titans will get over the Dragons, and I think it will be quite easily done, I'm afraid. So, yes.
Yeah,
I wish Dragons all the best, but...
yeah.
Yep.
They've got a good coach, but we'll see how long it takes him to kind of get his game plans across to the players. The Sunday game, there's only one Sunday game because of this half-split round, and it's the Dolphins versus the Cowboys. The Dolphins have got a good team, but I just think the Cowboys got more strike power across the park. But this could be a really good game, so I'm going to tip the Cowboys by 6, but I think the Dolphins will lead early. What's your thoughts, Darren?
Yeah, I'd have to go Cowboys, but I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Cowboys will come out victors.
Cowboys, should be a good weekend for football. Well, that wraps up the preview of round 1. We can't really talk about a review because there was no review except for the ones we've already done from Vegas. Now that we go for a break, and we will come back after this.
Do you follow rugby league? Are you a passionate rugby league fan? Want to see a rugby league team in Adelaide? If you answered yes to these questions, then we want to hear from you. Here at the Rampage League podcast, we're looking for the next presenter. Someone who will bring their passion and enthusiasm to the Rampage League podcast. Someone who wants a rugby league team back in Adelaide. For more info, send an email to producer Darren at admin@ozsportsonline.com.
And we're back. You're listening to the Rampage League podcast, your go-to for everything Rugby League and the NRL and Adelaide Rams, right here on the Rampage League podcast. Joining me is Simon. Now, we're in need of another presenter.
Yes, so we've got Hold the Ball, who's going to be guesting every now and then. He's a very busy man with his own podcast YouTube channels. We lost Shay last year, but we need someone who's passionate about rugby league in South Australia, who wants to see the fans come back and just loves talking about rugby league. So if you're interested, definitely contact Darren. He'll give us your information, and we'd love to have someone someone else with a different point of view, maybe not a Manly fan, because we've got two of them already, to talk about something besides Manly. Last year, it's going to be Panthers for season 1, and we've already started with a Manly team of the podcast. So, yeah, if you're interested, definitely contact us. Definitely like us on Facebook and Instagram, and yeah, we'll go from there. What's your thoughts, Darren?
No, definitely. It'd be great to have someone who's from Adelaide, as we often talk about how we both want the Adelaide Rams or another team, our own team in NRL. So if someone from Adelaide could step up and who loves rugby league in general, that'd be awesome.
100%. We need someone passionate like us, because I know Hold the Ball is definitely passionate. There's a few people I talk to now and then passionate about rugby league, but we just got to get it spread. During the holidays, I was wearing my Rampage League podcast shirt out, and a few people came up to me, "Oh, Rams, I remember them guys." But we just need people to talk about it more. Like, that's why we get the podcast. People go, "I remember the Rams," and we can start talking about Ram stuff and
definitely
try and get some special guests on. Like we had Karen Walters last year. We can try and get more people interested, and hopefully the NRL will listen, because we just need. I can't believe when they released the draw that there's no games at Adelaide this year. I was like, give us a club game or something, like.
Yeah.
Disappointed, yeah.
Very, definitely. And so, as this is our second year, we'll be having a very special launch. That's coming up very soon at one of Adelaide's great craft breweries. That'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So we'll be a chance for all our great listeners to come down and have a bevy or two and maybe win some prizes, hear some from our guests. So stay tuned to our Rampage League podcast social media, and you'll be able to find out when we'll be having our official launch for season 2024.
Sounds awesome, Darren. Looking forward to that. Thank you for today, and thank you for all you've done in the off-season for promoting the Rampage League podcast. And
Absolute
I'll be
pleasure.
back
Thank
next
you.
week.
Yes.
Enjoy your weekend, Darren.
Thank you, you too.
And I'll see you next week.
Bye for now.
Go the Rams. Bah! Adelaide to bring it out from their own line. And met by some very willing Auckland defence. And pushed back a couple of metres. Kieran Walters just goes from dummy half to pick up Darren Doherty. 25 metres out from his own line.
As now the Adelaide Rams make their way out onto Marathon Stadium for the first time.